What are your thoughts on JBL? And is he a bully?
Yeah, JBL's a bit of a bully. I mean, he'll test you. You know what I mean? All the specifically the young guys. I mean, he definitely pushed me to my limits a few times. And you know, the thing is, again, it's like it's funny from an outside. If JBL is getting onto you, it is not funny, and he can really make your life a living hell. But you know, he's a funny guy. I mean, but at the same time, he's very loud, and there's times where if he's like directing his attention at you, where like, you know, it'll get under your skin and it'll piss you off and it'll make you really hate your job. But then from an outside perspective, you know, if he's not on you and you're just listening, I mean, he's pretty freaking funny. So as far, you know, JBL, like, I would say yes, he is a bully, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, you just got to earn his respect, just like you know, kind of anybody else up there. Although he'll give you a hard time until you do, which means you either back up with you in the ring or you stand up to him and, you know, you tell him like, hey, quit fucking with me. You know what I mean?
Did you ever have to do that, or?
Well, I did. Like, you know, I went through that time, like, my first couple of years there, you're kind of walking on eggshells and you feel like the new guy, so it's like, you take a lot, you know, like, you take a lot, you know what I mean? You take a lot of stuff and you don't disrespect, you know, especially if it's coming from someone like JBL who's been there as long as he has. It's like, you just take it, you keep your mouth shut, you know. But I think it was around a couple of years in where I started to feel like, okay, you know, I'm not the new kid on the block necessarily anymore, but I'm not a veteran, obviously, but I'm at a point where I don't want to sit and keep my mouth shut anymore, you know, because there's a point in time where you get, like, as a man, you know, where you can only take so much, and it's like, you know, it's like, I'm not going to get walked on, you know what I mean? Like, I have respect for all these guys, but at a certain point as a man, you have to stand up for yourself, and like, and again, like I said, that comes with time if you're smart about it. And like, you know, I felt like after being there for, I think it was a little over 2 years, or maybe closer to 3, that, you know, I was finally like, you know what, I'm not, you know, I don't want to, you know, I'm a man first, and I'm not going to freaking sit here and let somebody fucking just walk all over me. So I remember, and this was around the time, you know, I started traveling, I kind of had my crew. Around this point, we were traveling to Iraq, and I was kind of hanging out with Randy and Umaga, you know, at the time, and like, you know, I was hanging out with them, and, you know, we were having our fun and shit, and JBL tried to single me out again like he'd done the year before in Afghanistan and start fucking with me. And I was like, you know what, I've been here long, I'm still, you know, I'm not a veteran by any means, but I'm at a point now where I can stand up for myself and be a man, and if, you know, and I didn't give a fuck. I was like, you know what I mean, that comes first. So, you know, and I told him, you know what I mean, I don't remember specifically what I said, but he said something to me, and I just fired right back at him, you know, and it was stiff with something, and I remember from that point, I guess it probably caught him by surprise, because I kept my mouth shut for so long.
Was it in front of the boys, or was it on the side?
No, it was in front of the boys, because I was sitting next to Randy and Umaga. We were sitting in the back, and
right.
we were just getting ready to leave to Iraq, and going through you know, what I'm thinking in my mind is the year before he had made my life hell in Afghanistan, you know, and I wasn't even supposed to be there. I had replaced Kurt. They told me that day in Afghanistan because Kurt was hurt, they wanted me to go to the Middle East the day of, and I was like, I wasn't packed or ready for it at all, but I went, obviously, because it's a big deal, and it's very important to, you know, not just important to Vince, but it's like, once you go there, you see how much it means to the troops. But, you know, JBL really he messed up that experience, you know, it was just like, you know, he was constantly on me, just ragging me. And then the next year came around, and we were going, you know, I was going to Iraq, and it was like, you know, I'm not going to let this guy fuck up my trip this year. And as soon as we were on the plane, the first time he opened his mouth towards me, I fired back. And from that point on, I mean, I didn't have to see him much that trip, because I wasn't in his group like I was the year before that. My group was like, I had the coolest freaking group. It was like Randy, Jeff Hardy, I can't remember who else, but all you need is Randy and Jeff Hardy to have a good time.
Okay.
But anyways, so you know, I didn't see him much, and then from that point on, every time I'd see him, you know, I just kind of got into this mentality where, you know what, every time I see him, I'm just gonna kill him with kindness. I mean, to the point where I would extend for a hug when I would see him in the locker room, because I would see him every once in a while, because I was still on Raw, he was on SmackDown. But I mean, I think it just threw him for a loop, and like, he didn't really fuck with me that much from that point on. You know what I mean? Like, I would, you know, I'd gesture for a hug and be, hey, JBL, it's been so long, how you been, buddy? And he would just like, you know, he wouldn't even know how to react to it. It was pretty funny, but you know,